Oh my god. Okay, you know. God damn it. Ayo, what it do, YouTube? It's your boy Alvin MB10, aka AMR10, and what I got for you today is some more NBA 2K24 Next Gen. Now, to be a bit more specific, the video that I have for you today happens to be the best Luka Doncic build you will find on the internet. Hands down, low key, ain't nobody challenging me. Now, I will let you know this build does come with Hall of Fame Giant Slayer, Hall of Fame Scooper, Hall of Fame Float Game, Hall of Fame Two-Step, and Hall of Fame Physical Handles to start off with, tied up with Gold Deadeye, Gold Post Fade Phenom, Gold Blinders, Gold Bulldozer, Gold Immovable Enforcer, and of course, Clamps, Agent 3s, 94 feet, and Hustler, just because this build is something insane. Now, I will not lie to you, I did work really hard on this build, and I did put a lot into it, just because I wanted to make sure that I could give you guys the best version of a Luka Doncic build that I could. Now, as we all know, he is right-handed, jersey number 77, and is the starting point guard / small forward for the Dallas Mavericks. Now, because of how he plays, we do have to go with him being the point guard rather than the small forward, just because when you move this build to small forward, as you can see, a lot of the playmaking abilities go down, especially when you start to mess with things such as weight and wingspan, as well as the shooting capabilities not being as nice as what it would be if you were a point guard. So we went with a 6'7" point guard to start off with, because that's the height that Luka's measured in at. Put his weight up to 230 pounds, as that is his registered weight, and then brought his wingspan down to a 6'8", because again, registered where I could see it. Now, before we get into the skill breakdown for this build, I do gotta say, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to do me a favor, hit that like button. We are trying to get at least 40 likes on this vid. Hopefully we do manage to get them. And if you're new to the channel and you ain't done so yet, please hit that subscribe button as well as turning post notifications on. We are trying to get to 2,100 subscribers. Now, as I did say, this build does come with a lot when it comes to finishing in the art of Hall of Fame Giant Slayer, Scooper, Float Game, and Two-Step, which we get through firstly putting Luka Doncic's driving layup all the way up to a 91. My key thinking here was he is not known as one of the most physically or at least athletically gifted players out there, but the one thing he is known for is, even though he lacks vertical leap, he has a nice touch around the rim with a 91 on the driving layup, and then of course on the driving dunk we went with a 72, which allows you to get some of the basic dunk packages, and of course bronze precision dunker. Now, to round it up, when it came to the finishing, we decided to go with a 75 from the post control, because this paired up with the shooting capabilities we put on the build will make a whole lot more sense. Now, thinking of it the best way I can, I'm just going to go through all the attributes, and then from there, I'll explain the badges and why we went with what we went with. We went with the 90 on the mid-range jump shot because the boy is a knockdown shooter, and 86 when it came to the 3-ball because we wanted the capability of getting at least silver agent 3s on this build. And then free throw, originally I'd put this up to about an 80-something, but I did have to lower this as well as the excel in order to be able to get that 90 mid-range jump shot, which allows us to get gold Deadeye. And then when it came to the pass accuracy, I put this and the ball handle both up to an 87 overall because I wanted to get, like, Luka, for as big as the boy is, he has a nice handle, 1. 2, he has a nice way of moving the ball around. Straight up pause on the entire describing how playmaking works, because it just sounds sus as hell. And then of course when it comes to speed with ball, put this up to a 77 because, as I said, he's not one of the most athletically gifted people on the court, but we did want him to have the capabilities of getting some decent badges, in which case you do need a high enough speed with ball. Now, defensively, I will not lie, Luka Doncic, not a lockdown guy, but I did want to give the Bills some defense in order to be able to play both sides of the ball. So we went with a 76 when it came to the perimeter defense, which of course means that you get majority of the badges at bronze, a 72 when it comes to the steal, and then when it came to things like block, defensive, and offensive rebound, we left them alone. The interior defense is going to go up on its own once we mess with the physicals, but hey, it is what it is. And same for the badges here. Some of these will turn bronze once we mess with the rest of the physicals. Now, speed-wise, went with a 75. Originally on the Excel, we went with a 77, but this time went with a 75, just because it allows us, by dropping the 2 points, to get the mid-range jump shot up to a 90. And then, of course, when it comes to the strength, I put this all the way up to a 92 because, as I said, even though Luka Doncic is not one of the most athletically gifted people when it comes to his ability of speed and vertical, he is gifted when it comes to the fact that he uses his size to his advantage, in which case you want to be able to get things like bulldozer, physical handles, and, of course, immovable force at least gold. We would have tried to get bulldozer and immovable force at least Hall of Fame, but as you can see, that would have required us to put the build up to a 95 on strength, which means we would have had to have stripped other parts of the build, which make no sense. And then stamina wise, max this out at a 95, just because it is what it actually, not a 95. I maxed it out at a 99 because, again, this is a point guard build. You will be using it a lot, in which case you want to have as high of a stamina as you possibly can get. Now, if we quickly go through the build from top to bottom, When it came to the driving capabilities, as I said, Luka Doncic is known for his ability to finish around the rim with a nice pro touch because he's not exactly one of the most athletic gifted people, as I've mentioned like 10 times. So we wanted the capability of getting Hall of Fame Giant Slayer, Acrobat, Pro Touch, Scooper, as well as Spin Cycle, Float Game, and 2-Step, which you can only do with having a high enough driving layup of a 91. The 72 on the drive and dunk is just to allow you the capability of being able to finish at the hoop with a dunk, because we all know in certain situations when all you can do is lay it up, 2K sets you up for some of the worst animations with people defending the rim. Now, of course, having gold slithery finisher comes from a high driving layup, but again, this is a nice badge to have because Luka does have a slithery capability around the rim. The matchup of the post control being at a 75 as well as a 90 on the mid-range jump shot does mean that we managed to get gold post fade phenom. Watching Luka's gameplay, you understand why this is needed. Tied up with a bunch of other silver post playmaking badges, which in my personal opinion make this build highly versatile, because it means if you run into situations where you match up against someone who might be slower than you or less athletically gifted, which is very rare, you can easily beat them with the build's capability of ball handle as well as shooting, and then of course the little bit of speed it does have. But if you run into situations, which I'm assuming which will be a lot of guards that are somewhat smaller than you and undersized, with the high physical capability of the strength being at a 92, as well as the increased post control of a 75, you will be able to abuse things such as back down punisher, dream shake. I will not lie to you, the most OP badge in my opinion might be drop stepper, because I drop step a lot. If you watch that Hakeem Olajuwon video, speaking of which, if you ain't seen it yet, go ahead, click it. Link will be right above me right now. Click on that video because I was abusing drop steps whenever I wanted to get baskets in the first game. Now, shooting-wise, as I did say, we went with the 90 on the mid-range jump shot because it allows us to get majority of badges at gold, but the key thing was it allows us to get that gold Deadeye. The only thing I'm upset we didn't get was, of course, Spot Finder, but in order to do that, we would have needed an 80 on the Excel, which we weren't going to get. But the great thing here is we do get Hall of Fame open looks, so when you move the ball around, if it does find its way back into your hands, at least you know you have an improved ability to make a wide open jump shot. Now, the 86-3 is tied up to the capability of getting, firstly, limitless range of bronze, but also the capability of getting silver agent threes because, yeah, Luka Doncic's gameplay is a lot of step back, side step threes, which just go down for the man in ways that are just immaculate. Now, everything else is at gold outside of course, Spot Finder, Whistle, Agent 3's and limitless range, which in my personal opinion is enough for you to be able to kill people as much as you want to. The free throw, as I did say, we left it at a 66. I'd have loved to put it a little bit higher, but because of how we've set out the build, we can only keep it at a 66. If you want to improve it, I insist you take 4 attribute points off stamina and you should be able to get quite a decent free throw. But even at a 66, you should be able to knock down enough free throws to really survive, especially when playing things like the Rec or the Pro-Am. Pass accuracy wise, 87 always ensures that you get Silver Dimer, Needle Threader, as well as Relay Passer, Touch Passer, Post Playmaker. But the key thing here is you also get Bronze Bailout. And then, of course, the 87 ball handles, just so that we can get things along the lines of physical handles, Ankle Breaker, Unpluckable as Silver, as well as Killer Combos, Handles for Days, and Blow By. We weren't able to get Speed Booster at a decent rating, which again is tied to Speed and Excel. Same thing for Blow By and, of course, Hyperdrive, because we don't have that high when it comes to lateral quickness as well as vertical. And then when it came to things along the lines of defensively, my main aim was, firstly, interior defense goes up to tied up with the strength, which means we get workhorse. But secondly, the perimeter defense were high enough whereby we were bronze at every single badge outside of off-ball pest where we happen to get a silver. And then on the steal side of things, we managed to get bronze on every other badge that there is. Now, in my personal opinion, this might be one of the go-to point guard builds to run. But again, a lot of y'all love to hate. So do me a favor, down below in the comments, tell me what you think about the build, what you'd like to improve, and what you think really stands out about it to you. Now, the players we managed to get in the shades of do make some sense, but at the same time, they really don't, because I'm shocked we didn't get Luka, but we do get Tyrese Halliburton, Jamal Murray, and of course, Derek Harper. I never watched Derek Harper play. Jamal Murray, I've seen play. I don't think he suits this. And then same thing for Tyrese. Tyrese is a lot closer to this sort of build than Jamal Murray is, in my opinion. The name of the build is a diamond 3-level threat, which makes a whole lot of sense because, as you saw, immaculate passing ability, great ball handle, but also the ability to score at all 3 levels. Now, hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video, which if you did, do me a favor, go ahead and hit that like button down below. If you're new to the channel and you ain't done so yet, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn post notifications on. And most importantly of all, if you want to watch some more content and see some great gameplay, do me a favor, go ahead and check out this Hakeem Olajuwon video right here, because low-key took a 60 overall Hakeem build into the Rec, and let me just say, I dominated in ways chasing a 20-20 game. But yeah, it's been your boy Alvin MB10, aka AMR10. I'll catch you in a bit. Deuces.